Hey friends, we are at the compost bin and I have not dug out compost from this in years. I've just been letting it decompose, filling it up, it compresses and decomposes, and I have a feeling there's a lot in there because it is shrunk down so much. So let's take a look and see what's in there. This compost has been here for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. I've been building this compost bin up, and so now I'm finally ready to see what we have created. My neighbor next door also throws in their scraps too, so that helps a lot. Really comes in handy. So I'm just digging back or scraping back the top layer to see what we got going on, and very quickly I realize, I already have compost like this high up. This is crazy. So in the spring, it's still spring, but like 2 months ago, we threw cardboard down and then smashed everything down so it would decompose faster and break down faster. So I put cardboard down, stepped all over the top of the compost bin to smash everything down and compress it. And it's like everything under that cardboard layer has already started to break down. So this is pretty exciting. And that's a piece of tape from the cardboard, so just toss that out. And so I start scooping it out, getting all excited. In hindsight, I wish I would have scraped that stuff back a little bit more, because the real good stuff that's more decomposed is a little farther down, just a few inches farther down. And so yeah, I just dig it until we have a wheelbarrow full, and that was a massive sunflower stalk. I let the sunflowers grow and the tomatoes grow in the compost last year, and then the year before I let cantaloupe grow, and the healthiest plants in the garden came from this compost bin, so I know we got some good stuff in here. And then this year I was like, I'm not letting anything grow in it, I'm going to actually dig that compost out, and that's another reason why I wanted to get that cardboard down earlier in the spring to prevent stuff from growing, because then I might not want to dig those out or pull them out. So we got a wheelbarrow full here, and I'm just grabbing out the clumps. There's less clumps the farther down we go, so again, I wish I would have just grabbed the stuff that was lower, but I got excited and just started scooping in everything that looked decomposed. So everything in the garden has already been topped off with dirt, and I don't have a spot to put this. And I didn't think this through. Like, looking back now, I'm like, why did you not like even think about what you were going to do with it once you dug it out? Like, you're not going to leave it in the wheelbarrow. So I came up with this idea. I have a bunch of extra tablecloths, the real cheap ones. So we lay that down. We do a double layer actually and lay it out. And I'm going to let it continue the decomposition process sitting here, and then in the fall when things come out and beds need to get topped off, I'll scoop that pile that we're about to make into the beds and top them off with that. And then in the spring we'll dig out the compost like in March, like just do it early on a somewhat nice day and top off our beds with the rest of the compost in the bin that has broken down, and not have to go buy a bunch. So this is 3 years in the making, and I think we finally have enough to top off the garden, because it sinks down so much and you got to keep topping off beds unless you let it sink down and you don't fill things to the top. But I kind of like things to be close to the top and add fresh nutrients every year. Just top it off a few inches. So this is a tumbler that we're trying to get everything out of. This tumbler has also been full for 3 years, and I haven't added anything to it in a long time. It takes a lot longer for things to decompose in there because the worms and stuff can't get in, and other things that help break stuff down can't get in. So it's not decomposed as much, and that's okay because it will continue to do that now that it's in this pile. So just trying to get the plastic all spread out that way. I want to keep all this on the plastic and not on the ground because it'll be harder to scrape up later. I guess it doesn't really matter, like I can just scrape it up off the ground, but I have mulch there and I don't want to like scoop up the mulch whenever I do scoop this up and top off the beds. because then I had to replace the mulch there. So, yeah. We've got a few more chunks to dig out here, it looks like. Pretty chunky stuff, but that's okay. Lots of eggshells too. I think by the time we use it to grow in a year from now, everything will be decomposed really well, because the worms and other things will still be able to reach it. There's plenty of worms and other decomposing bugs, like the roly-polies in here. Time for round 2. So we're getting down to the real good stuff at this point. My garden fork can't scoop it very well anymore. A lot of it will fall through the fork, and so I'm like, I think I need to switch gears a little bit and grab a shovel, so we do that. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of hurting my back because I'm standing up high and leaning way down low. Let me see if I can reach from this side, and I just can't get a good angle to be able to scoop, so back on top of the bin we go. Got the real good stuff down there. So it'll continue decomposing and we'll get the good stuff out later. In the fall, in the spring, whenever we do it again. And so I just wanted to make this video now. I just wanted to finally dig into it, and that's why I wasn't thinking about what I was going to do with it. I wanted to see what was going on in the compost. So I think we got a good plan. Just make a big pile over there by the house and it'll be fine. I found a container. Did you see that? So I actually washed it up and I stick it with my collection, and it was smushed just a little bit but not broken, so that's kind of funny. It must have been in there for a long time to be that deep. Must have been from the first or second year that this compost was being made. And that's another massive sunflower from last year. Sunflower stalk. Those don't decompose very easily. Digging out the chunks again with our hands, just feeling around. Avocado peels don't decompose very fast. I found a lot of avocado peels and sunflower stalks and mango pits. So we dig those things out and add to the pile. So I kind of want to uncover the second half, like the part I've been stepping on. I want to uncover that, you know how you're supposed to like turn your pile and mix it up a little bit. Well, I don't really turn my pile. It's kind of like the lazy composting method, where you just pile stuff on top and you let things do what they do, and then you dig out the bottom, and the bottom will be decomposed after a while. The more you turn it, the faster you have compost. Otherwise, you have to wait a while, and it's fine. So I kind of pushed some stuff back into the spot where we were digging, and kind of just moved it around, turned it a little bit, and I'm done. I'm done digging in this. I'm actually covered in ants at this point. I have ants that are biting my ankles, and I'm like ready to get out of here. And so I took a sec to take off my socks and shoes and try to smush them, and so I was very itchy at this point too. But we're not done. So I'm like, well, I got a pile of dirt sitting here. I know stuff can grow in it. I know it because things have grown in the compost bin for the past 2 years. So I have sweet potato slips. Why not, right? We'll see what happens. A millennial gardener has said that he can just put his sweet potato slips straight in without rooting them first, so that's what we're doing here. Now, hindsight, the pile has started to crumble a little bit on the outside when it dries out, so I'm going to go out and put plastic over this and then line it with rocks so it all stays in, and then make little slits for the sweet potato slips to grow through. And it'll be a hot compost pile that will all stay in place. And that's the plan. I am so excited to have that compost. That was a pain to dig out. I need to somehow have like two separate bins where one's composting, the other one's where you put the new scraps in, and uh anyways, free compost, so can't complain too much, right? Thanks for being here. And yeah, the compost bin is just made out of pellets that we just screwed together. It's pretty flimsy, like don't lean on it because it'll fall. But if it's full, then it kind of has the support on the inside so the walls won't collapse in. Uh, Anyways, it was free. It works. It's a big, ugly pile. I, if you don't have a compost bin but you're thinking about it, then one thing I would say is probably don't have it like touching stuff in your garden, because all the like roly-polies and stuff that are attracted to it, I feel like there's more and more and more in the garden every year. And they did eat. I have a grow bag next to the arch trellis right by the compost bin. And the roly-polies were just real heavy there. I think they're like in the compost bin, and they crawled in that grow bag and ate my pole beans, and I had to replant them. Anywho, so I'm glad to have free compost. So I kind of wish it was like separate. But anyways, have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. I will see you next time, and feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.